Hello everyone, I decided to go live. All right, so I'm going live talking about Tuesday night coming up. Make sure you check the event page. I linked the wrong location for the group. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the workshop. I don't know how long this is going to be, but it's going to be pretty long. That way you know what to expect when you're showing up. I should have dragged the crystals out here with me, but I have so many crystals. I packed them away. Some of them I do have that I have on the list. So I just took some notes on what I wanted to talk about. There'll be crystals that will be at the workshop that we'll discuss. There's about 12 crystals that we will be talking about, and most of them I will have on hand. That way you're informed about it, and you'll have a PDF on these crystals as well. So for you guys that don't know me, I've been doing this for over 20 years. Reiki, yoga, meditation, crystals, you name it. All of a sudden, it's like in the last 10 years, I guess with the internet, all of these things are like huge. Oh my god, the sky is so beautiful right now. It's like the clouds. If you guys could see the clouds right now, I'll have to do a video of it if it's still like this when I'm done. Oh, my neighborhood lizard is visiting. But yeah, I have the list of the crystals, the PDF. You guys will have all these cool information that sure you could find online, but some of them it's not listed everywhere, you know. What we'll be discussing, and the teachings for the night will be with the grid, right? So you'll learn how to make a grid for protection with the crystals, and you'll learn the connection to it with everything, your meditation, the energy of the crystals. Why is this belief, you know, how do people know of these connections? Some of these things are definitely downloaded information, and a lot of the information we receive it at a certain age or a certain time in our life. So it's really quite interesting, everything that we're going to discuss. So there's crystals that we're going to talk about there that is specific for that night, because it's going to be Tuesday the 13th. It's going to be a waning crescent moon in Virgo, right? And for some of you guys that don't know, your meditation should be based on the day. Like, you can meditate about anything you want, right? This being my yoga and meditation channel, you can meditate about anything that you want, but on certain days, and if you want to get fancy and add the planetary hours certain times, but on certain days it's more beneficial to do certain types of meditations, right? On this night particularly, I chose to do this workshop because it would fit in really well. We just came out of Virgo season. Now we're in Libra season, but we can still tap into that Virgo energy. So you don't like have to be a Virgo to come there, because we all have Virgo in our charts, right? So once, like I said before, once you start studying one thing, you realize that it connects to a lot of different things. So at the workshop, we're going to, I'm not going to tell you everything, I'm just going to give you a gist so you know. We're going to talk about the protection stones, right? And everyone has Virgo in their chart, so you don't have to be a sun sign born Virgo to benefit from this workshop. You're going to realize that, hey, this can benefit me too. If you attended my any of my classes, healing classes, you know that I talk about sound healing, right? Using your voice, the traditions of medical qigong with the different organs in the body. So we'll tap into that for the Reiki, because someone messaged me today and said, hey, I see that you're having an event. Are you going to talk about Reiki? Yes. The workshop is about crystal grids, protection, and the stones that we're going to use. Majority of the stones are black stones because they're associated with protection energy, but there's a few other stones that we'll talk about, like smoke quartz, labradorite, tiger's eye, and then we're going to throw selenite in there because it's a good cleanser, right? And the direction that you can place these in your home that will be more protective. We'll dabble in that a little bit, but the main thing is the simple formation of your grid that you can do as a protection grid, right? And you don't have to have a wooden grid to show up at the workshop. You can set it up with no grid at all, okay? So we'll talk about that. We'll show you guys that. I wanted to come on here to really make this video about protective stones for Virgo, right? Even though the workshop's going to feature these other stones, which are black tourmaline, hematite, black obsidian, black calcite, we're going to talk about that, smoky quartz, like I said, and ancestor stone. That is going to be an interesting one. So that's like the one I'm not going to talk a lot about because you have to be at the workshop to know about that one. But what I wanted to base this video on is an informative video for you, like I said before, so you know what the workshop is about before you show up, but to also give you some fun information as well. So Tuesday the 13th is going to be, like I said, the waning crescent moon in Virgo. Everyone has Virgo in their charts, right? When we do the meditation, we're going to do a Reiki meditation, Reiki the crystals, you know, and so on. And the special meditation will be beneficial energetically, okay, for the digestive tract, the small intestine, and the pancreas, right? So I'll have a little printout on that as well, just because of the night, being that the moon will be in Virgo. And since the moon is in Virgo, the extra bonus thing that I wanted to share with you guys is 10 supportive stones to bring balance to your Virgo energy. We all have that energy within us, right? And it's very analytical too, because it's ruled by Mercury, which Gemini is also ruled by Mercury. But where Virgo steps in is very analytical. It can look at something and want to ground it, want to bring balance to it, right? And at this time right now, what we're going through, the 10 special stones that's associated with Virgo, even if you're not a Virgo, you have Virgo in your chart. Your moon could be in Virgo, your rising could be in Virgo, your Virgo could be in you know, a different house, whatever, a different spot, right? So Amazonite is a stone that brings balance to your Virgo energy. That's one stone that I want to share with you guys. It's an earth element, and this stone releases any kind of obsession that you have. And if you come to one of my meditation classes, and I hope that class will run again at RYK, once everything works itself out. It works with accepting our uniqueness, right? And that uniqueness comes from our imperfection. So this Amazonite stone, it's an earth element, it's balancing. But when I was researching this, it's so funny, I thought about imperfection and how most earth signs, or most people, even if you're not talking astrologically, when we ground, we feel great. We feel like nothing is wrong, right? But in those imperfections makes us all unique, right? And the imperfections are something that we can look at and say, hey, I'm not like that. I don't do that. But sometimes you don't know what you like, or you don't know exactly what's good for you. And I thought imperfections, I thought, we've all experienced when we do something and it didn't come out right, right? And then I started laughing, and I'm like, wait, didn't some kind of cookie was created by accident? And wasn't she trying to bake something else? So I can't remember the full story, but I looked it up, and it was like the chocolate chip cookies was made by accident. So how many of you out there like chocolate chip cookies? Well, you wouldn't have it now if in the 1930s, what's her name? Let me look at it. Ruth, right? Toll House was making cookies, she was trying to make something, and it turned into chocolate chip cookies. So there you have it. You know, you like your chocolate chip cookies and milk, and you just think, oh, this is great. And hey, You know, we have chocolate chip cookies. We don't even think of the hard work sometimes that goes behind something, or how the process of something came to be, right? We're just like, oh, we have it now, so whatever, I can just grab it out of my fridge, right? But a lot of things come from someone else's hard work, someone else's mistakes, right? And now we can benefit from it, right? So this stone, Amazonite, it's all about, well, it's not all about, there's many different little reasons, but the imperfection, right? So that's one stone that's really good at being supportive and balancing to the Virgo energy within us. The Virgo energy is an earth energy, it's a mothering energy, it's an analytical energy. It looks at something and it wants to perfect it, and sometimes we're stubborn to that change that we need. So that's one stone that's an earth grounding stone. The amethyst is more of a spiritual element stone, and this one is also for the analytical mind, and it's also for the crown chakra as well, right? Purple stone, amethyst. It's very soothing and it's very calming energy for us. And looking at this, some of these things I don't even focus on in the stone, because when you find, there's so many stones and so many things to learn about with the stones, but when you find a particular stone that you like and you vibe with, and then your frequency and your energy matches that stone, and we'll talk more about that in the workshop, then you only focus on those 2 or 3 beneficial properties associated with the stone, the energy of the stone, right? So this type of science is very spiritual, and you know, in the future, you know, and even now we can use certain stones for actual physical energy, but it might not be a popular way of using it, but it's both spiritual and spiritually or physically in the world we can use it. But once we find out something about a particular stone, we only focus on those 3 qualities of the stone, because that's what we associate it with. But in looking this up, it's like, oh yeah, it is soothing. I wouldn't even think that. Yeah, I am relaxed when I connect to my crown chakra. But it also helps you to improve your relationships. Now, when that came to me, because I've had clients where they just want the quick fix, right? So to improve the relationship, this has to be something where you're not coming from a state of being needy. You're already balanced if you're dealing with a crown chakra. You're not desperate. You're not worried. You're not trying to fix someone like a quick fix, and then the situation becomes a problem again. When you're working with the amethyst and the crown chakra, you've already worked on your root chakra level issues, your heart chakra level issues, which I'll get to when I talk about Unakite, Jasper. Yeah, the heart chakra. So the crown chakra, it gives you that feeling of well-being, and that's the amethyst. So everyone knows about the amethyst, but there's so many different powerful attributes to that. Balancing the Virgo within you. The adventurine, and that one is used a lot in prosperity grids, right? As the amethyst is used in protection grids as well. And could be used in relationship grids. Now, the adventurine is very supportive stone, right? It's like looked at as the good luck stone, and also as a charm for good luck to wear that one. And nowadays, in the last 3 years, I want to say in the last 2 years, jewelers are using these stones that we use. Do I have any stones here? No. Stones that we use and making them into jewelry. And to me, those are the best stones, is the ones that aren't the so-called expensive stones, because my ancestors would use these stones as unpolished, as like a doorstop or something just around the house. You know, like diamonds weren't, until they had this value, they were just used as a doorstop, or you know, whatever. It wasn't like a big deal, right? A friend of mine that has passed away told me about the story of this jewel that they now have in the UK, but some guy, it was like the biggest crystal maybe, it was like using it as his doorstop. So, it's the value you put on something, but it's connected to earth, and that's the real value. It's your connection to earth and life and your village. But that's a whole other topic. But the aventurine is all about the opportunity stone, right? So what opportunities do you know that you want to go for? When you're working with these stones, they're not like the end all be all. It's you have to have that energy within you, and then these stones are a focus point for you, and we'll talk more about that. Carnelian is another one. I'm not going to go into that one right now, but I do like the carnelian, and it has a lot of healing properties along with essential oils, even going back biblically. And before that, everything biblically was tribal before, right? So it's older than that. Citrine is another one. Clear quartz. Clear quartz, I always say this because it's the first thing I learned many moons ago, is that if you don't have any other stone, you can hold the clear crystal and program that to be any stone you want, and then you cleanse it. There's like 3 different ways to cleanse it. One is very dangerous. You shouldn't mess with it. Fire, earth, water, and there's different ways of doing it, right? So you can cleanse it with that. You can cleanse it in the sun as well. And there's some that you shouldn't cleanse in water or in the sun for a long time because it loses its color or it breaks down the mineral of the stone, right? Garnet is another one for balance and grounding. And it's also good for courage and confidence. And garnet, you can find it also a lot in, like, say, Ross. You'll find really good stones, really good deals, and it could be like a candle holder, so definitely shop around. So you think, oh, I'm going to go to the crystal store, but you can really, even in Michael's, you can find stones there as well that you wouldn't think. You're thinking outside the box. Red jasper. A couple of years ago, red jasper was so hard to find. Root chakra grounding stone. They had to stop mining it, for a while because it was a shortage of it a couple of years ago. So if you do have a red jasper, definitely get it. And the most important thing to realize when you're getting into crystals and you're doing your search, don't start buying crystals that everyone think is popular right now. Get the ones that you connect with by just visiting a store, or maybe it just popped in your mind, or you saw it and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessing about the stone. I have to go get it. That was me with labradorite a couple weeks ago. I was like, I have to get a labradorite. I was so obsessing about it, and it was so hard to find it. But the red jasper is another one that's good for our Virgo energy. Okay? And our Virgo energy represents our grounding energy, right? Unakite jasper, it supports your greatness. Okay, so you're like, even if you don't know what your greatness is, that's a good meditation holding that stone. All right, and the stone doesn't have to be big. I always tell people you can get a small stone and just hold it in your hands, and you're just meditating with it. I'm just resting my hands on the side of my knee, and that's it, and just holding it. Just get 2, and the tumble stones are really good. Again, if you don't have, if you can't find a unique stone, or it's really expensive, definitely find a clear quartz tumble. Okay, so it supports your greatness, it balances your emotions. That's what we have it associate with. The Unakite jasper is about rebirth, right? So rebirth can happen when you go through like a big life change and you feel like you need a fresh start. Some people shave off their whole head. I've done that. Some people do a spiritual bath. You can do many things, but the Unakite is really good for that. And you can get the wand. Okay, a really dear friend of mine gave me a wand of that. And I cherish it because I really love her energy, and that one's really a nice stone. And the wands, as a massage therapist, you can also use that in your massage therapy too. If your clients like that, you can actually use that energetically too. Okay, and that field has grown as well. The Unakite is also good for the heart chakra. So it's a green and pink stone, and it's the only. I was reading up on it, and the person said it's the only stone that or it's the only chakra, the heart chakra, that has two different colors. We have rose quartz that goes along with the heart chakra, right? So if you can't find rose quartz, you can use unakite because it has a pink in it, right? Pink is associated with the heart, but also green heart chakra in the yogic tradition. But in the Chinese tradition of medical qigong, the heart chakra is red, and pink is an off branch of red. So the heart chakra actually has three colors, and it's the only chakra that's really associated with more than one color. So it's actually three just from me studying, learning medical qigong, which is amazing. Okay. The unakite helps you to connect to nature, plant, the grass, the earth, and we're going to be outside, so, and social distancing in the group, so you can actually take your shoes off and put your feet on the grass, on the ground, to connect. The stone also is associated with the element of air, right? And if you don't have green moss, which is another hard stone to find, the unakite is actually good to like lay in your plant pot. I'm looking at my plants around me. You know, you can set it in there, and whenever you need it, you can always, you know, grounding, you can hold on to that and put it back in there to cleanse it. The unakite also helps you to be in the present moment, because that's what being grounded is about being in the present moment, just enjoying the moment right now, right where you are. For me, that's really important, especially in the morning, or, you know, at night, just sitting out here and really just taking in my little man-made nature back here. Intuition. Our intuition will get stronger once we get grounded, once we trust ourselves. It's our natural animal instinct. The unakite, which I didn't know this one, which is pretty cool, the more information you look up, is that it helps you with your past life. And past life goes back again to the rebirth, right? And it goes back to letting go of bad habits and just learning from our present life right now. And then the last stone that is good for balancing our Virgo energy is zebra jasper. I love all jasper stones, but the hello is the zebra jasper, and this is the stone of balance. So I'm obsessed about this. So if anyone's a Virgo, or you're interested in balancing your Virgo energy, the zebra jasper is really unique and really interesting. I've been having a hard time finding a seller. So if you know of a seller, definitely let me know. Okay, positive thinking and reduce judgment. That's a very Virgo thing, to be very judgmental. And it comes from a caring place. It comes from a place that kind of has a very Saturn energy of having things in order, so that it's avoiding any kind of chaos. But we have to have some kind of chaos to learn from, unfortunately, even though, you know, that's not good. But everything has its yin and yang. So reducing judgment, seeing the good in others. That's what that zebra jasper stone is about. Seeing the good in others is really hard. That's why that grounding energy needs to come in for us, right? So resolving conflicts, whether it's inner conflict, and that's where our morning meditation is so powerful, right? So inner conflicts, and helping with difficult situations, right? So that would be a really good focus point. So that whole judgment, the stone of balance, it's known as a positive thinking stone. Seeing the good in others, that's really good. It's also good for bone, skin, and teeth, right? So you think of all that calcium, right? You were tapping into that calcium part of the body, and looking back at what Virgo represents in the body is the pancreas, right? On the just from doing medical qigong, we just remember the left side, the spleen and pancreas. So the pancreas, the small intestine, and the digestive tract. And when we're thinking about our teeth, our bones, and our skin, the more of the bone, the calcium, right? Making sure that we're getting that right balance. right? So we can use our meditation and connect with the stone for that if there's any kind of imbalance with that in the body, and also the skin too as well. So you know that that beauty stone that they have, the roller for the stone, usually they'll use, ladies and gents, they'll use, I'm seeing it, rose quartz, right? But wouldn't it be cool if they made a rolly one with the jasper, right? With the zebra jasper to kind of like roll in a beauty care regimen. That's pretty cool, right? But you can still use the rose quartz for that. The jasper stone is also good for love and romance and that whole sexual energy. So it's more of a not like a fleeting love. It's more like a grounded, connective love. And I would see that, for me, I would see that in kind of like what you call a soulmate. Like if you know that this person is my family for different lifetimes, right? Like there's some people when they get married, they're like, I'm marrying you now and forever into the next life, right? The next hereafter. So those are the 10 stones that support and balance Virgo. So I just wanted to give you guys that little extra information. I'm going to be sharing this video in all of my different groups. I wanted to record this, but I didn't know if I had enough space on my cell phone. And I wanted to put this up on my YouTube too, so maybe tomorrow I'll make like a special video, because I want to go enjoy my night with my family now, and I still have some other posts. Why is that one here just kicking it? Making some more posts to share with you guys. But yeah, that way you guys, when you show up to my workshop, you're like, what is this girl about? What is she about? I just want to give you guys that little special information on 10 stones that's known for balancing the Virgo energy within us. And that Virgo energy is the nurturing energy. And remember, we have to nurture ourselves, because Virgo is known as the angel, right? Virgo is known, and some of you guys don't know this, the constellation is known as the angel. It's like the mother, and that energy is the mother, is like the mother of all creation. We just came out of that mother energy right now. Now we're in Libra. We're in justice and balance and diplomacy energy, right? But on Tuesday night, we can definitely tap into that essence, right, of earth and balance and nurturing to self before we can give that to others. That's what Virgo represents. It's caring so much about ourselves and care for ourselves in the most positive way, where it's not judgmental. It's there constructively, right, and healing, right? And when Virgo does something, it's of the best quality, and that's what we want, right? We want, it's funny how some people want really good quality from others, but then they don't treat their own possessions, or they don't treat others that way. So it's like, I want, but I'm not willing to look at myself and say, hey, do I clean the bathroom? Do I open the door? Am I as considerate to someone as I want them to be considerate to me? So it's really looking inward and communicating inward, right? Virgo, Mercury, Virgo, nurture, health, right? All of that. And that's what that energy is all about, that mothering energy. And Virgo spiritually is also like the mother of, it's getting really deep, but it's historically it's the mother of very divine avatars that are born on earth, right? Reoccurring avatars, right? They're known as the mother of that. So to be of such high esteem, to work on self and be connected at that kind of moon cycle of those weeks that we just passed, to give birth to something great is also, it is what could be greater than that, right? Other than being the avatar, right? But yeah, so Tuesday we're gonna look at these crystals, and the cool stone that I can say and we'll use in future workshop is definitely what I'm vibing with a lot, is the zebra jasper. And then for Tuesday night's workshop, the really cool stone, all of them are really cool. Depends on what your energy is. What's your energy level, right? Because everyone that's coming to the workshop, you're all going through different things in your life, right? I've been through different things in my life. So you're going to resonate with one particular stone on that PDF that I'll be handing out. And if we get like more people, then, you know, then you can have it emailed, or I can, you know, next time I see you. But we're all going to be out in nature, fresh air. We'll have enough space to be in our own little space, you know, and it'll be beautiful. It'll be a beautiful setup at the park. And the other powerful stone is known as the ancestor stone, and I think that's really powerful right now. I'm calling out to people that might be doing some ancestor work. That's going to be really good for you guys. So that's going to be the popular stone for that night. This year, the best stone this year, protective stone this year, is the black obsidian, and I do have that. I bought that a couple years ago on a group trip to Arizona to one of the crystal gem shows. Next year I'll be going to gems, you know, shows when everything calms back down. But black tourmaline is very good, but the black obsidian is the stone, and I said that in my other videos. And that stone is really vibing on the energy, the chaos, the lessons, the frequency of this year. And the energy really started on the new moon. And if you're looking, they call it the Chinese calendar, but it's our ancient ancestor calendar of going by the 13 moon cycles. So by the end of by the new moon in March, I have to make a separate video on that. The new moon in March, then the energy will shift, right? But the black obsidian is the stone to place in our southern direction, which I taught already in my previous home feng shui class and crystal class. And that's the south direction. So that would be the stone to place in your southern direction. And we still have a couple more months before March, right? So we will really need the energy of the black obsidian stone. I think, yeah, this one is the black obsidian, and funny enough, I got it at Michael's. So I've gotten this one back in March. It's a nice one. So that's a really good stone to have. So yeah, we're all going through crazy things. There's more things I want to say, you know, for this year, but I don't want to pack it all in one video. But some of my videos tend to be like a little gumbo. But yeah, those are the 10 supportive and balancing stones for the Virgo energy. Good to know. If you guys have any questions about that little extra, you know, 10 crystals, let me know. And then we'll be having completely different 12 different stones at the Tuesday workshop to recap. And you don't need to have a grid, right, to come to the workshop. You'll be given a PDF of different stone information. You'll be shown how to set up your own grid. If you don't have a black stone, you'll be learning how to charge and how to program clear quartz crystals. I'll bring some crystals with me if you guys want to buy some crystals from me. But you guys will be gifted a crystal of your own that could be your centerpiece crystal, a black stone, okay? It's coming in the mail, it's in the post. So that will be the center one, and then you can also put the white, the clear quartz crystal around that. So you can program clear quartz crystal to be any stone to be used for anything, right? Okay, what else at the workshop? We'll be doing a meditation. We'll be getting some Reiki. We'll be playing the sound healing and setting that sound healing for the purpose of that stone, and you'll be setting your intention, and then when you go home, you'll know where in your home to place that grid, okay? And you'll be learning some other cool things that I'm not even telling you. It's really cool that you'll learn at the workshop. So that will be great. I'll be hosting it with Gordon Latimer, so he'll be helping me with the sound portion of it. And yes, and I'll have him talk about some of the crystals as well, because he loves crystals as well. But yeah, I'll be teaching about the crystals, the stones, where to place them. So much fun information on Tuesday night. And what else? There'll be some special stuff coming up at the end of October, because this October, it's the time, not just, you know, Halloween and the whole marketing of it and candy, which is fun, but it's also a very spiritual time to connect with ancestors. That's why we're going to be talking about the ancestor stone. And I'll be ordering some of those so that I can have them by the end of the month. And with in the Mexican culture, November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, the energy is there. Even from like October 27th to November 3rd is a very strong veil energy of honoring ancestors and, you know, setting up your altar to show respect to the people that came before you, show your love, light candles, so on. So connecting to that on a spiritual level and understanding the essence of that, right, where the land gets quiet and more barren, and we're more focused in on the home, right? So yeah, lots to talk about, but I hope this was really interesting for you guys, and I will see you guys. Click like so others can find you know, this video. The more likes it gets, it really helps others. That's how I look at it. It's not like a popularity thing. It's more like a niche thing, an interest thing, so others can find it and share the videos with them. I'll be posting this in my other groups. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this Thursday and enjoy the night with your family, and I will be back online later. Peace.